What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the SP and Bushy Show, two lifelong friends who started a podcast together. I'm SP. Joining me, as always, is Bushy. Bushy, how you feeling?
Bushy is doing good, buddy. It's 2 days away from Thanksgiving, so we're here. It's our Thanksgiving special, I guess.
Yep, it's our Thanksgiving special. We're going to talk about the things that we're not thankful for, and then we're also going to talk a little bit of football and talk about Bushy's Notre Dame shirt. Bushy, I didn't know you were a Notre Dame guy.
Oh yeah, got to show off Notre Dame. Obviously the rankings just came out. Notre Dame number 6 right now. I mean, they're kind of sneakily kind of getting into that college football playoff talk as well. If some dominoes fall, we could definitely see Notre Dame in the college football playoff.
We certainly could. I mean, I'm excited by this week's ranking. Is I got to eat a little bit of crow. For what feels like months now, I've been talking a bunch of crap about Ohio State, and then they just absolutely went and killed Michigan State last weekend. So, I was saying that they were beating up on cream puffs, and then finally last week they did it to someone good. So, I got to eat my crow on that one. I got to own up to it. I was giving Ohio State a lot of grief, and you know what? They earned my respect with that win last week.
They did. They actually, man, I mean, really, it wasn't a contest. I mean, really, the game was over by halftime. I mean, it was just one of those, you kind of hyped up the event. Game day was there. You were very excited. I mean, it was like a case where I didn't even have to watch the game anymore. I mean, it's just, I went out and did Christmas lights on Saturday because I didn't really care so much about the game and stuff. And I remember
I watched The Devil's Tomb starring Cuba Gooding Jr. on our Stars Free preview.
And how is that?
It might be another one we'd have to break down. I mean, it's not very good. It's very formulaic, but it's got him and like the guy from Dazed and Confused is somehow in it as like one of his soldiers as well. And it's got a decent enough cast, but it really wasn't that good. It was okay enough that I didn't switch it off. That's how bad the game was, though, that I switched to it.
So that may be our NBA quarter break show. Once the NBA hits kind of the quarter mark of the season, we kind of switch over.
Yeah, we talk about the B movie, The Devil's Tomb, starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Actually, there was one I was kind of interested in. I maybe want to watch it. It's on Prime Video. It's called like Star Commander 2 or something like that. And it's like one of these 80s B movie action movies. And I'm just like, I don't know why. And literally, like, I have like the Google Chromecast, and it literally. Usually with like Google Chromecast, for some of the bigger movies, they give you like this paragraph description of the movie and all that. It was literally one sentence. That's it about this, this guy basically being a commander of like an army or something like that. So I was very, very interested, and I kind of want to watch the movie now and just be like, I'm intrigued now. Is this really one of these bad 80s B movie action movies?
I'm guessing yes. I mean, it sounds like it would be.
It's that, and plus, I mean, it's just you and I are both Jean-Claude Van Damme fans or something like that as well. Maybe we have to review best. He's not in the movie, but maybe we have to review like best of the best or something like that as well. That's it. That's a crappy.
The worst, maybe.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could do that. I mean, really, Eric Roberts' acting is so bad, and James Earl Jones is in that movie, and it's just one of those. I'm like, how did they get James Earl Jones in this movie? Really?
The Star Commander movie?
No, the Best of the Best, actually.
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, not Star Commander, or I think that's the movie title. I really wasn't really paying attention to the title, but yeah, definitely maybe we got to check out maybe Best of the Best as well.
Yeah, maybe. Absolutely. We can try to track that down, find another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie to do a watch along with, or maybe even switch it up and do something else.
Yeah, we could, or we could do the Devil's Tomb.
A little Van Damme in the back pocket for later on.
Or we could do, the Devil's Tomb in the starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, Devil's Tomb starring Cuba Gooding Jr.
I mean, or we could do adjacent Jean-Claude Van Damme action movies because you and I did review the Sudden Death remake. Welcome to Sudden Death. So, I mean, we could do sequels or remakes of Jean-Claude Van Damme genre films.
Absolutely. So Universal Soldier 8 or whatever.
Yes. Or there's Kickboxer 2.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, there's like a Bloodsport 2 as well. So we may have to do that.
How many of these movies have Scott Adkins? I feel like he's in all of these.
You know what? He's probably one of the best. Yeah. they could do that.
Excellent. Well, obviously the win for Ohio State was so drastic that it made us switch it off and watch B movies. Cincinnati also put it on SMU to the point where that one wasn't a game either.
Yeah, they really took it to them and really, I guess, really kind of showcasing this stuff too. I mean, I was really afraid of with the college football what they were going to do because they actually did play on that on the Friday the week before, and they actually, because the game ran so long, they got preempted by a World Cup qualifying game. I mean, really, I felt like that was maybe like a slap in the face for Cincinnati as well, that they got preempted by a World Cup qualifying game.
I mean, it definitely is, but by that point the game was over. Like they were up 48-0.
Well, I mean, it was somewhat interesting. I mean, but yeah, Cincinnati had it in hand. But yeah, I mean, really, I felt like that was really a slap in the face. The committee they got preempted for a World Cup qualifying game, and they got transferred to ESPN News. So I mean, they were on ESPN, but they got transferred to ESPN News.
This is America, and America should never. In America, we never preempt college football for soccer. I'm not thankful for that.
Yeah, even if it was USA Mexico.
No, I don't care.
I mean, it was just weird. I was just like,
in the World Cup, I'm not even gonna care.
It's in Qatar. Come on, I mean, World Cup next year. It's going to be around November, so we could have this football World Cup combo going on.
I don't care.
I mean, we could be talking about it too.
I'm going to root for Ghana or whichever African nation the U.S. plays in round one because we have everything else. I don't care if Ghana has soccer.
Ghana, yeah.
And we have women's soccer too. So, like, it's not like I ever care about men's soccer.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and it's just, yeah, we're really, I guess we're kind of like Cincinnati, I guess, in a way, or something like that when it comes to, soccer or something like that. Just this mid-major. None of the top programs really give a care about you.
Right, we're Ball State.
Yeah, yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, we have like good seasons or something like that, or yeah, or maybe like Boise State. We have good seasons or something like that, but never really get into that top echelon as far as with being an elite college football team.
Right, which we got to talk about it. Like you said, playoff rankings are out. Bearcats finally cracking that top four. Hopefully, there to stay.
Hopefully they're to stay, really. I mean, it's just a case now for them. Basically, if they win out, they should be in. Really, I mean, I feel like Georgia, Alabama are going to get to each other. Who knows with Ohio State as well? I mean, they have been playing well, but really, I mean, this is going to be their true test, really, against Michigan on Saturday, really. And they've really been a shaky road team this year. I've been watching, some of their road games as well, and against really formidable opponents. Ohio State's been shaky, really. I mean, yes, they've come out victorious at the end, but yeah, they've been really shaky, and they've lucked out too. A lot of their home games have been at home. Oregon's at home, Penn State's at home, Michigan, Purdue, they've all been at home, so they've really kind of lucked out through that.
Like I said, I mean, until last week, it felt like a really soft schedule for the Buckeyes. Even once again, like I said, it would be great to see after all the scrutiny that he's been under, never being able to beat Ohio State. I would love to see Harbaugh finally get it done against the Buckeyes. But that would also probably launch Michigan then into the conversation and ahead of Cincinnati, though, too.
Yeah, that definitely would launch. It sounds like Cincinnati really is probably going to be number 4, really. And they're setting up for that rematch against Georgia. So, I mean, Georgia-Cincinnati, here we go. We're going to have it again.
Well, we may not.
Or we may not. Or maybe they
might get up to 3. I mean, once again, depending on what happens with Ohio State, Michigan. It also looks like, obviously, you're going to have Alabama and Georgia play each other. And if Georgia does to Alabama what they've been doing to everyone the whole season, I don't see how you could justify putting a 2-loss Alabama team in ahead of a 1-loss Notre Dame team or a 1-loss Oklahoma State team.
Yeah, I mean, this really is setting up now for Notre Dame and Oklahoma State, really. I mean, to tell them to basically, yeah, win out. Hopefully one of these teams crumble or something like that. I mean, and
Or
hopefully they
Oklahoma.
no, Oklahoma, no.
Oklahoma's still very much in this thing. If they beat Oklahoma State and then avenge the loss to Baylor or something in a Big 12 championship game, you got to look at the Sooners as possibly that team.
Yeah, but they barely beat Kansas. That's the case. They barely beat Kansas. I mean, really, I mean, they should have lost that Kansas game.
Kansas
really,
beat Texas.
Yeah. That is true. Kansas is up top. I mean, what happened to Texas? I mean, I guess really, I mean, do they miss Tom Herman? I mean, really, Tom Herman would probably not let this happen, really. I mean, yeah, I'd probably lose to Oklahoma, but basically, I mean, really, I mean, it took an amazing comeback even to get to, overtime against Kansas.
Right. Is Sarkisian gone yet? Has he been gone?
No, not yet. Even though, yeah, we're
survived the season.
This is going to be an interesting year as far as with the college football hiring, because I mean, we got 3, I guess, really high-priced jobs going. High-priced programs really getting the call and stuff with LSU, Florida, and USC. So this is going to be a very, very interesting case as far as with that.
And you had Texas to potentially to that mix. That would be interesting. I mean, here they've lost, 5, 6 in a row?
That would be interesting. Yes, that would definitely be really a slap in the face, I think, to Tom Herman, really. I mean, it's just you bring in Sarkisian and you think, oh, yeah, Texas is back. Texas is back. And no, they're really they're going on they're going on a different coach as far as with that. Yeah, and it's just that would definitely be a slap in the face. And really, we should not consider Texas really for the next 3-4 years. Nobody should really care about Texas. Just forget about them, really. I mean, it's just if they can't get a coaching hire right, why trust them?
I don't trust. Yeah, well, it's like Miami though. Like Miami somehow always is in the top 15 preseason, and then they suck.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Yeah, just Miami just finding ways to just really suck it up. And yeah, but somehow because they have all this talent and they're Miami, living off their reputation, but somehow they get a spot.
I mean, obviously it's a preseason poll, and there's nothing more meaningless, I think, in sports than a preseason poll. But
right up there with preseason records for NFL and the tip-off record.
Yeah, your tip-off.
I remember seeing that just one game last year. And I was just like, that is the most useless stat ever. Who cares if the team wins the tip-off or not? It doesn't really change the game.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it's right up there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad, but in any event.
Also, yeah, I mean, I actually texted you about this too, going back to Ohio State, Michigan State. I mean, it's just, I texted you this. I mean, I guess Mel Tucker really should be, I guess he coaches better when he's coaching for different jobs or something like that. Now that he kind of has the security blanket really for Michigan State, I mean, now that really, I mean, that's his first thing. He gets shellacked by Michigan State. Or by Ohio State, sorry.
They extended him. He got beat by Ohio State after getting smoked by Purdue. And I think this was a premature extension.
It really was. It was a premature extension. And it's just, I think people forget about it too. Yes, they beat Michigan, but they were down in that game, and they were down by double digits too. I mean, they had to have like a crazy comeback to even win the game. So, I mean, it's just really, he has not been living up to the moment as far as coaching these big games right now.
Right. I mean, they only beat Indiana by 5. I mean, they have some in wins, but like I said, I would like to have seen maybe waited until the end of the season to extend him. I mean, because this week against Penn State's not going to be a cakewalkie.
It's the battle of the two premature contract extensions with James Franklin now getting extended now. So we're going to see the battle of these two foes going at it.
We really are. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait for just to see what's going to happen with this college football landscape. Because once again, I feel like Ed Ogeron, who won the national championship 2 years ago,
Yeah,
is available. He's a great coach. He always seems to find at least a decent amount of success.
I know, and it's just
I'd hire him over a lot of these people.
I mean, I really think I really feel like I really feel like this is going to be like a reunion of some sorts with some of these teams. I think maybe USC, with the Seahawks being bad, maybe they called up Pete Carroll, try to have a reunion with Pete Carroll. And then same with Florida, I mean, obviously the urban experiment, I think, is going very, very badly with Jacksonville, that we could see an urban reunion at Florida. So we could be seeing some reunions with some coaches.
I think they're going to give Urban more than a season. Just to keep the strippers in in Jacksonville employed for a little bit longer. And then I think that they're not going to fire Pete Carroll after one bad season, where Russell Wilson was out for half of it.
I mean, really, I mean, it's just really, I mean, it's just I think Pete Carroll is going to. I think he's going to be a shocking firing. I really do. I think he's going to be a shocking firing at the end of the season.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh yeah. I think they're gonna fire. Yeah, I think they're gonna fire him. I mean, it's just. I think it's gonna be a shocking fire. I mean, it's just. Wow. I felt like he just that Pete Carroll era has kind of run its course, really, and you're kind of seeing it this year.
I mean, I don't see it, man. It's been one bad year, and his star quarterback was out for half of it.
I know, but it's just, what? Sometimes you just have that one bad year, and suddenly it was the chance to just pull the plug on this experiment. He's been really living off of winning these, 9, 10, 11 win seasons, and somehow sneaking into the playoffs or winning the division. And yeah,
it's a Super Bowl and then to another one.
That was 7 years ago. As crazy as it sounds, that was 7 years ago. The last was the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, I get that it was, but it's not like he's been bad since then. They went to
I know,
like every year.
I know, and it's just I
mean, let's see. They were in the playoffs last year. I mean, obviously lost to the Rams, but we're in it.
Yeah, they were in it.
They advanced.
They lost to a Rams team with John Wolford and Jared Goff as quarterbacks. I mean, when John Wolford started too. I mean, it wasn't like that was a bad loss, I think.
They've been to the playoffs like almost every year under the guy. This is going to be like maybe the second time they have missed it in like the last decade.
Yep. I think Pete Carroll will be fired. Yep.
No way.
Yes. You're going to have to eat crow like you're eating crow on Ohio State. You're going to eat crow like you're eating crow on Ohio State right now. That's what. Yeah.
I mean, they may fire him, but they shouldn't. He almost beat the Ravens last week.
Oh, Matt Nagy? Oh, yeah.
And really, if it wasn't for the referees, he'd have beaten the Steelers 2 weeks ago too.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the referees, yeah, and it's just but they lost to a backup quarterback too.
That doesn't mean the rest of the team's bad.
I mean, yeah, they feel like really. I mean, it's just like really. I know, like most of the quarterbacks, really, except for Mac Jones, is having a good. I feel like most of the quarterbacks is having a bad season. Most of these quarterbacks are having a bad season, and yeah, and I feel like Nagy's a part of it as well. And really, I mean, all of Chicago is really sick of him.
They're gonna beat the Lions this week. He'll be at 4-7. They'll beat the Vikings one of the 2 times they play them, and they'll beat the Giants. They're gonna at least get to like 7 wins.
You think 7-9 or 7-10 is going to be worth it?
Maybe, I don't know. I think he was in the playoffs last season.
Yeah, but they were like the 7th seed too. I mean, it's just they were that Nickelodeon game. They were that Nickelodeon game
last season.
The most useless playoff game. The Nickelodeon game.
They beat the Buccaneers a season ago.
Oh yeah, that was the game. Yeah, where Tom Brady forgot how many downs there were.
They beat the Buccaneers last season.
No, Matt Nagy's going to get fired. You watch the Lions. The Lions are going to win. They're going to lose to Tim Boyle. They're going to lose to Tim Boyle.
It's all these people for no reason that believe that somehow, like, Justin Fields was going to somehow be like this godsend at quarterback when no Ohio State quarterback has ever been good in the pros. Ever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Mike Tomczak. There we go.
If that's the best you're pulling, exactly. You've proven my point.
Yeah, it's really just been bad. I mean, it's just, like everybody expects him to be like this Lord and Savior. And we've seen it too, I think, with Fields. Like, he's really kind of brittle right now.
He's
like,
the third best quarterback on that roster.
As far as this year, yeah, like he's been kind of brittle. Like he's had some nagging injuries.
When it's all said and done.
Yeah, he probably will be. I mean, it's just
if you look at careers, you'll take Andy Dalton's career and you'll take Nick Foles' one game over his.
Yeah, take that. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. Yeah, but it's just like, yeah, I never was really a big Justin Fields fan. You know, even in college, I feel like he always missed some throws, and he always made some throws that just made you go, wow, that was a bad throw. And he just lucked out too, because he had so many. You see it too with the Ohio State receivers, just how many good receivers he has.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he's seeing it now.
Good too.
Yeah, the offensive line was good too. So I mean, he just had all this talent around him, and it's just like, and really, I always felt like he had bad accuracy issues too, even at Ohio State. Even though, it looked like he just had like this amazing stats, but it's just like you see Ohio State's offense sometimes. Like sometimes these guys run it for like 60 yards, but they run it on like a bubble screen or something like that.
Right. I feel like everyone watching this must think I just hate Ohio State because I'm ragging on them, which I apologized for. But now I'm ragging on Fields and talking about how none of their quarterbacks have ever had pro football success.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go Labor Day? Labor Day, they're playing in Columbus. They're playing Notre Dame.
I mean, obviously I want to go, so we'll have to look at that.
And then you'll wear a Michigan shirt, just kick everybody off.
Yeah, I probably will. I'll probably wear my Michigan hat.
Your Michigan hat.
Especially if they win this weekend.
Go for it.
Me versus 100,000 people. I'm going to have to call in Jean-Claude Van Damme for my trip to the Horseshoe.
It was a fun experience. It's a fun stadium. I do highly recommend going. So yeah, I'm all down. We need SP and Bushy on the road.
That would be awesome. Hopefully we can get someone to sponsor it.
Yes. Sponsored by Taco Bell.
Taco Bell and Frontier Airlines bring you the SP and Bushy Show live from the Horseshoe in Columbus.
Live from the Horseshoe. I know. Yeah, you're wearing a Michigan hat. I'm wearing a Notre Dame shirt.
We're getting stuff thrown at us.
We're getting names calls like everybody's looking at us like we're crazy people.
Yep. It'll be the last episode of the Bushy SP and Bushy Show as we both end up in intensive care afterwards.
And we just rag on him, it's just like, what is a Buckeye anyway? It's a nut, Yeah. It's a nut.
As much as Lee Corso has tried to make it cool, I don't feel like Brutus is super cool.
I mean, literally, it's a guy with a giant head. I mean, that's all it is. Really. I mean, it's a guy dressing up, like Where's Waldo with a giant head.
Right.
With a giant football head, basically. He looks like Hey Arnold,
Yeah, he pretty much does.
I love it. This turned out into OSU hate,
It really did.
We're back, baby.
Well, I feel like everyone else in the media just loves on Ohio State so much that's why we've kind of taken this heel route on them anyway.
Yeah, let's take the heel route. Yeah, because we can't. You know what? We have crappy college football here. I'm sorry, here in Colorado. So it's just like, we'll rag on these teams.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have great D1 to talk about here.
Yeah, we don't have good D1.
But we hate everybody.
We hate everybody. Yeah. And going back to this year. I mean, Is this? I mean, last year's Thanksgiving games were terrible. Is this year just as bad?
I mean, Raiders and Cowboys could be a little interesting.
That's really the only interesting game. And it's just like, I mean, like Bills Saints. I mean, it really hasn't lived up to the hype, with like Bills Saints. I mean, it's just,
I mean, the
the
Bills
Bills
have
really,
looked terrible the last 3 weeks.
yeah, they have not looked good at all. And yeah, and the Saints, I mean, really, the Saints are like, basically like a Blake Bortles team. They look crappy for 3 quarters, and then like the fourth quarter, they look amazing.
Well, it's a Trevor Siemian led team. You don't want to watch that.
Yeah, yeah. That's going to be our nightcap, man. Like a reeling Bills team against the Trevor Siemian led Saints team.
It's gonna be a good night to either spend with your family or watch Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Oh, that may be an intriguing football game. I like that. I want the Egg Bowl. Give me the Egg Bowl.
Yeah, watch the Egg Bowl. That's the way to go. 5:30 start on the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss looking for like a really good bowl game. They're ranked 9th in the power rankings. So in some weird world where somehow Alabama then loses, like what if Alabama loses to Auburn this week and then somehow beats Georgia? I don't know. There's probably no way for Ole Miss to get into this their top 25 or playoff.
Unless every team in front of
them
them gets COVID. Unless every team in front of them gets COVID. I think that's really their only saving grace.
But I mean, it's been a good season. It's been like the best season of the Lane Kiffin experience.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin, and like Mississippi State's been playing really good as of late as well. So I mean, it's a case like they've been playing really good right now.
Watch that game. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that instead of watching Saints Bills.
I am very excited though. I mean, we have Boise State against San Diego State on Friday at the day after Thanksgiving. So we're gonna have that. And yeah, I mean, your Missouri Tigers. I mean, they caused Dan Mullen to get fired. I mean,
I think the 5 games previous to that also caused Dan Mullen to get fired too.
But it was the straw that broke the camel's back, as far as with that.
Right. What did you think of the Dan Mullen firing?
I mean, it's just, this guy literally last year, we were talking about like Florida maybe being a good, formidable opponent against Alabama last year.
They lost to Alabama in the beginning of the season by 2 points.
By 2 points, and they lost and they played Alabama tough in the SEC championship game the year before too. I mean, it's just, I mean, really, I mean that game really just changed the entire season for some reason. I don't know why. It changed it for the worse. They just.
And then they lost to LSU, and like you haven't even been able to get on track since then. I mean, the Georgia loss is forgivable, but you don't lose by 23 to South Carolina if you're Florida. They let Samford hang around, not Stanford. Samford score.
Samford, yes,
and score 52 points. So I mean, there's definitely a case to be made for it. And then losing to Mizzou by 1, but I mean, it's weird how this team almost gave up halfway through the season after losing to Alabama.
Yeah, they really has just given up, and it's just really. I mean, it was really like a shocking firing too, because it's just. And really, I mean, I guess it's really been downhill since the playoff, since that bowl game, because they got thrashed in the bowl game too. I mean, it really has started
right
early on in this year. So,
I mean, I don't care what you do in a bowl game though, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really for anything. You still get paid.
Yes, you still get paid, but still, I mean, it's just. I mean, it was a case too. They kind of gave up at the year, and really, it's been downhill really ever since. And yeah,
and here they almost beat Alabama. Like, think of how different that season would have been had they beaten Alabama, the 18.
Well, yeah, that would have been the case. Yeah, and then Alabama, I think if they lose that Florida game, they probably win the Texas A&M game. I think that's the case as far as with that.
No, but it would have definitely made Florida look – or I think Florida would have had a lot better season had they been able to finish that one off.
Yeah, they probably would have been very good. And actually, that LSU-Florida game was actually really exciting. Like, it was just like – it was a very exciting game too. So they haven't played these exciting games. It started too. They lose to Kentucky too for the first time since like the 80s. Last time they lost to Kentucky, in Kentucky. So, I mean, it's just – it really is like crazy, just how
it was such a weird season for them. But once again, I'm of the ilk of if you have a good season, I give you a 1 season grace period. So I think I would have given Dan Mullen one more season, but obviously there was some egregious stuff along the way this year. You could
Right.
just
And these SEC teams are really like impatient now, they want to win and win now.
everyone thinks they're going to find the next Nick Saban.
Yep. Everybody feels that way, but it's not usually the case as well.
Who do you have this weekend between Florida and Florida State?
Oh, man. Two teams. Man, how's Florida State been? Like, I really have not paid attention to them.
They're 5-6. Both teams are 5-6. Winners Bowl eligible. Loser is not.
God, they are oh my God, like this is like a weird team.
Yeah, it's the disappointment bowl. Who do you got?
The disappointment bowl. You know what? I think with the teams trending and stuff, give me Florida State. Florida State's season is weird. I mean, they with the Notre Dame game, obviously the Jacksonville State game. I mean, it's just if a couple of breaks go their way, maybe they're probably in the talks of maybe being prominent in the ACC. I mean, it's just they're really like a weird team this year.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah, give me Florida State. That's what I want.
I'll take the Gators. I think they respond after the Dan Mullen firing, and I think the SEC in general is just soft this year. I think they've struggled against SEC competition. Give me the Gators.
Give you the Gators, yeah. Well, actually, you have an interesting matchup, too, at 5 p.m. on the day after Thanksgiving. You have UNC against NC State as well. So, that nice little rivalry game as well. I know UNC's having a little bit of a down season, but, hey, they've been playing really hard, too. And, NC State really has been –
hard, too.
Yeah, they've been playing really hard, yeah. And then NC State, hey, they've been in it.
Them to have a great year, and obviously they didn't.
Yeah, we did. We predicted. We thought they would kind of run away with the Coastal, but I gotta eat some crow too, man. I mean, you were on the Pitt. You were on the Pitt bandwagon, really. You thought Pitt was going to be a really good team, and I thought they didn't. But here they are. They have a chance to win the ACC this year.
They do. They could easily do it. Kenny Pickett might be the number one pick. Who knows?
And Detroit Lions own Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. I mean, I think that NC State beats UNC this weekend, though, to keep their ACC championship game hopes alive.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's just a case they got to it sounds like, yeah, I'm very excited. ACC is just weird this year. It's a weird conference. Yeah, same with like the I mean, it's just a weird year this year. I mean, it's funny. It's a lot of these sport writers try to promote parity and all that. As far as with stuff, they try to promote parity and like, oh, why can't we have like instead of like these 4 teams all the time? Really with the college football playoff, but really they crap on the Pac-12 and they crap on the ACC, because they actually do have sort of a parity or something like that, and yet they crap on these things. I'm like, you guys want parity. You guys want parity in the college football world, but here you are, you crapping on, these 2 conferences that actually do have parity.
Absolutely. Do you think Wake Forest wins this weekend? If they beat Boston College, they go to the ACC championship game against Pitt.
I do believe so.
Wake Forest Pitt ACC championship game.
How many? What's going to be the over under on that? Like 94 and a half points or something like that. Like that is going to be a crazy offensive game. Sign me up for it. Like if it's a Pitt Wake Forest ACC championship game, I want to go down to Charlotte. I want to go down to Charlotte to go see that game. That would be a fun ACC championship game.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be just ball flying all over the place.
Balls just flying all over the place. 2 good offenses, 2 semi-mediocre defenses as well. And
very mediocre defenses.
Very mediocre defenses. Yeah, give me that. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm in for it. I think if Wake can get by BC this weekend, we have it. So.
We have it as well, yeah. And Pitt going against Syracuse, that, I mean, it's just we'll have to wait and see with that as well.
I'm not interested in that, but let's talk a little bit briefly about the Oklahoma State game. Who do you got?
Oh man, I mean, it's just really. I mean, Oklahoma hasn't been really crazy offensive dominant, and like Oklahoma State has a really good defense. Really, I mean, I guess it's kind of flip flop with Oklahoma State during this Mike Gundy era, where it's just they somehow been like this really good defensive team the past few years. So they've really focused on the defense. Give me that. Give me Oklahoma State. I feel like they're riding the wave right now, and I think they're gonna prevail. And it's at Oklahoma State too. So give me the Cowboys.
I'll take the Sooners just to be different.
Just to be different. Okay, yeah. And it's just really, I mean, really Oklahoma really hasn't impressed me. Yeah, really Oklahoma hasn't really impressed me. Really, I mean, I feel like they've been really probably the least impressive top 10 team.
What are you on the committee now?
Yeah, I'm on the committee. Yeah, of course I'd be one of these people that be like, give me Cincinnati, put Cincinnati at number 3 or number 4. They would hate me for it because I'd be like, they've been doing everything you've been telling them to.
Right, they beat Notre Dame. What more do you want them to do?
They beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame too. I mean, it's just
they beat Notre Dame. They beat Indiana. Ohio State got credit for that Indiana win.
Yeah, they got credit. Yeah, for and they come on, Ohio State. Yeah, Cincinnati could beat Indiana in Indiana. Come on.
Yeah,
give me that.
And then let's talk really quickly. Last game I'm asking you to predict. Who do you got? Clemson. Disappointing season, but back in the top 25 at South Carolina, a team that's been decent this year. I mean, they've been up and down too. They lost a lot of close games. They lost by a touchdown to Kentucky. They lost to Mizzou by a field goal. But they've beaten Florida. They've beaten Auburn. Like, they've beaten some of these teams that were supposed to be a little better than them.
This is this is going to be an interesting, I guess, rivalry game, I guess, really, with the Clemson and South Carolina. I mean, it's just, because Clemson, back in the top 25. I mean, really a disappointing season this year as far as with Clemson standards this year. But they feel like they've started to get their act together a little bit. But, going with South Carolina, you don't know, really. I mean, they're kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde team. You just don't know what team you're going to get with the Gamecocks. I mean, it's just, you know what? Give me South Carolina. I want South Carolina. I think they're going to pull it off. I think it's in South Carolina, so they've been really impressive as of late. So, and they're playing really good. And just give me that.
They've been good at home this year.
I know, yeah. So they've been a very, very impressive team.
I'm still going to take Clemson, but I wanted to bring up the point. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a good game. It's just a shame that it's on the SEC network and not one of these, main ESPN channels.
All right. Obviously, fun week in college football. Not a fun week, as you mentioned, especially with the Thanksgiving games in the NFL. You talked about it. Brutal NFL slate on Thanksgiving. We used it to segue back into college, but let's talk a little bit more about this horrible slate of games on Thanksgiving.
Yes, I guess we're going to start off, with the little teaser. Yes, I'm unthankful for this slate of games, really. I mean, you're going to have the Bears starting Andy Dalton, Matt Nagy basically fighting for his job against a Lions team with Tim Boyle, and God knows what the lines are going to be.
Matt Nagy fight for his job on Thanksgiving.
Matt Nagy fights for his job on Thanksgiving. Yeah, so it's just like what team is going to show up, and then you have the Cowboys, who are really like a Jekyll and Hyde team. I guess they can't play the AFC West, really. I mean, it's just they look bad against the Chargers, they look bad against the Broncos, they look bad against the Chiefs. Now they're going up against their third AFC West opponent in 4 weeks. So, I mean, are they going to look bad against the Raiders, who really have started reeling? Really, I mean, it's just. We predicted it. We thought, it's going to be a Raiders collapse, and here they are. They're collapsing again. It's just happening sooner rather than later.
Yep, it really is. I mean, 5-5 for the Raiders on the season. I think they go into the Cowboys. I think they struggle there. I mean, they've been torched in back-to-back weeks by good quarterbacks with Mahomes and Burrow, and I think it happens again a third week in a row. But I think this is at least the most interesting of the Thanksgiving games.
Yeah, it's going to be, definitely. And then you have the reeling Bills. Really, they haven't looked impressive the past month against the Trevor Siemian-led Saints team. Again, they're the Blake Bortles They're the Blake Bortles team. They've looked crappy for 3 quarters, but then the fourth quarter they somehow turn it on and become one of the greatest offenses ever. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. And yeah, I agree. I want to watch Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Definitely. I mean, aside from the Rams and the Packers, I mean, this is a Minnesota, San Francisco, which is on at like the same time. This is a pretty weak slate of games in the NFL. I mean, Tennessee is so injured right now that even their game against New England isn't as captivating as it could be.
Right. Do you want to take a trip down to Houston, go see the game of the century? Jets against Texans.
I tweeted it out last week. Like, as long as the Titans don't play the Titans are in good shape because they only seem to be really bad against like teams like the Jets and the Texans. Thankfully, when it comes to the playoff time, those teams won't be there.
No, I felt like last week was the first week where the injuries have finally started to come up on the Texans. Yes, or the Titans actually. Like, yeah, they've lost some really significant players, and it's just really they've been really sustaining everything, and now I feel like it's starting to come back and haunt them now.
Yeah, like I said, I think that there's only so long they can survive without Derrick Henry, who's the MVP of the league.
Yeah, that's going to be the case, and I mean, really, the Sunday night game, you have Browns against Ravens, and then Monday night it's Seahawks against the Washington football team. I mean, it really is a bad slate, really.
Right. Like I said, I mean, Tennessee, New England is a little intriguing, but without like all of the stars on the Titans, New England's probably going to cruise in that one. Indy's been playing okay, so maybe their game against Tampa Bay is interesting. Maybe it isn't.
Oh, you're not ready for Broncos Chargers?
No. What about this one, though? I'm excited. I can't wait. Falcons, Jaguars, bring it to me. Why isn't it in London? It feels like this game should.
Why is it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's like, why isn't this game in London? Even though, yeah, both teams did participate in the London games this year. But, yeah, why isn't this game in London? This really should be a banishment. They should move this up to Canada or make it in, like, Mexico or something. Like, the United States doesn't want anything of this.
They should make the Jets-Texans game be played on the moon. I'd watch it then. That'd be interesting.
Joe Flacco. Or put it in Germany. I know Germany's looking to get some NFL games. Yeah, send them Jets-Texans. Send them Falcons-Jaguars. Would you want to go to Houston or go to Jacksonville for these games?
I don't know. Depends. I mean, I don't know. Neither, I guess. That's a tough.
I don't know. The Jaguars may actually have a home field advantage this game. I mean, you saw it with the Bronco game. You saw it shockingly with the 49ers game. I mean, it's just like really. I mean, it was a pro Bronco and 49er crowd against the Jaguars.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's just or the Falcon. I don't think the Falcon fans are going to show up. So I think it's going to be a pro.
It's a short drive for them.
But the Falcons stink, really. I mean, not a lot of people really care about the Falcons.
I think the Falcons are going to have to show up big time there. I think they're going to have the same kind of advantage that the Broncos and 49ers enjoyed.
I don't think so. I think there's probably going to be like 5 people there.
Fans are coming out for this one, all 10 of them?
Yeah, there's going to be like 10 people at that game. And 5 of them are going to be in that pool area.
Yeah, exactly. 5 are going to be in the pool area. The other 5 are cheerleaders.
Yeah, the hot dog. Yeah, there's going to be more hot dog vendors than fans.
There probably will be. You can get a hot dog quick. It's probably the same way in Houston. They have tickets as low as $10 for the Jets and Texans this week.
Let's go. Let's make a trip to Houston. We're going to go see the game of the century.
Oh my God. I think the Texans are going to beat them bad. The Texans with Tyrod Taylor are a better team. He's been banged up. He was back last week. I think they do okay.
I mean, the Texans are an interesting team. Like they're just. I don't. They're not very good. Same with the Jets. The Jets aren't very good, and it sounds like who knows who's going to be at starting quarterback right now. So we'll have to wait and see with that as well. So yeah, it's going to be a terrible game.
Horrible game.
Yeah. We may have to go. Yeah, we may have to go. We may have to. No. Let's just get a plane ride to Houston right now. I'm looking up trips right now.
I'm not spending the money for a flight to Houston just to watch. The flight would cost more than going to the game.
Let's just drive down, okay?
No.
We'll just drive down now.
Rams and Packers, though, I think is going to be interesting. Who do you got there?
Give me the Packers. I mean, I know the Rams are coming off a bye and all that, but really, I mean, it's just and yeah, I just don't like what I've seen, and I feel like we're starting to get more of the Lion Stafford now. The later years of the Lion Stafford era now with Matthew Stafford,
Uh,
and that's bad news. And the Packers know how to deal with Matt Stafford really because they played with him forever. So I
well,
think they
yeah,
know how to handle Matt Stafford.
but I mean, this is new and improved LA Rams Matt Stafford with a Sean McVay offense. So give me the Rams.
Give me the Packers. I think Aaron slings it, and yeah. I mean, this super team and all that.
Well, they've had a week to come together a little bit more. Stafford's had some time to work with Odell.
Well, really, I mean, it's just keep away, the pretzels from Matt Stafford's wife, okay?
Yeah,
Chucking pretzels at everything, yeah. I feel like this year has been like weird because it's just like the top quarterbacks, like it's just like their wives or girlfriends are starting to get like into it. It's like the same with the Mahomes family. They've gotten into with some of the fans. Now Baker Mayfield's wife is getting it, calling out players as well. And now Stafford's wife is chucking pretzels at 49ers fans. I mean, it's just really, I mean, this has been an interesting year as far as with quarterback players / wives, / girlfriends.
absolutely. I'm thankful for it. I want to see it.
I am too. Like I'm kind of intrigued and I like it. I'm just like, yeah, I want more. I want Jared Goff's, wife, to kind of start her chucking pretzels at Lions fans.
Oh yeah. I'm all for it. I'll just say that.
I'm all for it. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence's girlfriend, hucking beers at at the pool people at the the 5 fans that are going to be at this game.
Probably in the pool.
How about Sierra doing something with the Washington football team fans as well? After they trash on Russell Wilson. That's what I want. Yeah,
absolutely. Bring it on.
Or a cat fight between Tyrod Taylor's wife or girlfriend and Zach Wilson's wife or girlfriend.
You think they're gonna start Zach Wilson?
Who knows? I mean, Mike White and Joe Flacco just got placed on the reserve COVID list today. So, yeah, we could see Zach Wilson.
I guess you're right. I guess I didn't see that news.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, yeah.
They're going to sign Blake Bortles and start him Sunday.
Why not? That's what I want. That would just make the game even more interesting. We should just drive down now for it.
Or Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson against Tyrod Taylor, man. That is the greatest game ever played. Just mark it down now. The greatest game ever played.
Yeah. All right. I'm not like the Texans. Give me the Texans against Zach Wilson.
Oh my! This has really been a bad slate. Really, the past few weeks, I feel like we're just having a bunch of bad slate of games. And the ref, I think the ref of the Jets Texans is going to be Tony Correnti. So so we're going to need that. That would make it even worse.
What's he going to rig it for?
He's going to rig it for. He's going to somehow rig it for the Steelers, even though they're not playing this week. Yeah. He's going to rig the Jets Texans game to the Steelers' favor.
He's going to find some way.
He's going to find some way. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Oh.
All right, let's get into it. What are you not thankful for, Bushy?
I mean, I'm really unthankful too for the new Taco Bell commercial. Obviously, if you have been listening to the podcast, obviously I'm not a fan of the new Taco Bell's commercials. Where these people hear at dawn and suddenly they're like, "Oh, I got to go get some Taco Bell" or something like that. So the new commercial now is these two guys. Basically they're dressing up to go to like a LARPing event or something like that, or maybe like a local Comic-Con or something like that. They're dressed up like they should be on like, on like a bad, basically like your homemade production of Game of Thrones or something like that. That's what they're kind of dressed up as. And they kind of meet up, and the guy accidentally hits his shield on a trash can, and somehow it turns into that Taco Bell Dawn sound, which in all reality that doesn't make that sound. I'm sorry, it doesn't make
Yeah,
that sound.
it doesn't make
But
that sound at the LARPing events you go to.
yeah, all the LARPing events. Oh yeah, all the LARPing events I go to. I dress up. I dress up as a Viking warrior named Farquad or something like that. And yeah, I mean, it's just, and suddenly the guy is just like, oh, I got to go get some Taco Bell now. Like, I was just like, what? That's worse than the first date one, or the beach one. That's worse than the beach one.
I gotta be honest. As long as they brought back that grilled cheese burrito, I don't care how they market it. That thing's delicious. It got me back into Taco Bell single-handedly. It's delicious.
Hey, I did see that they've had like the cheesy gordita crunch combo, so I'm happy about that. They've really kind of amped up the cheesy gordita crunch, so I'm happy about that. Just make better commercials, really. Your commercials are stupid, Taco Bell. Your commercials are stupid. Get out.
The Chihuahua.
Yeah, bring back the Chihuahua. Yeah, that was good.
I don't care. I like I said, the grilled cheese burrito is awesome, and I'm thankful that they brought it back.
I know. I am thankful that Taco Bell is starting to bring back some of the items that we like, but I'm unthankful for these commercials.
Yeah.
What are you unthankful for?
I mean, I'm going to start it off. I mean, even though Cincinnati's finally in the top 4 and this thing's starting to look a little bit more clear that there are 4 teams, I still am unthankful for the College Football Playoff Committee. I think the committee is not a good way to do it. I think we still need to expand this thing if we're going to have a true champion. I still think 4 is not enough. I still think you get the champions from all the Power 5 conferences. And even give me 16 teams with every champion in it, and then there's like 4 wild card spots.
I'm all in favor of it. Give me that. Just give me that. Yeah, give me all the conference championships. And yeah, we just solved it right there.
Yep.
Yeah, the 4 has gone on too long enough, really. I mean, it should have been expanded a couple of years ago. The 4 was a good experiment to get everybody kind of interested with the playoff. Now it's time for expansion, really. That's the case. Yeah, give me more expansion. And you watch, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to do 8 teams and then make for another 7-8 years and then do 12 teams. I mean, they're just going to do it, add it by 4 every probably like 7-8 years. That. I know. I'd be happy as well. I mean, it's just, I mean, the FCS does it. Every other conference does it. Like, really.
Right. Like I said, every other conference, every other thing,
or every other division, yeah,
every other thing in the NCAA does it. Like, I get that this is how we did it back in the 20s, but I don't think anyone's that devastated that like we won't be having a Gasparilla Bowl if we expand this thing.
Hey, I mean that gives us content. I mean, we'll do our mega bowl preview. Right. In the coming month.
Who's gonna win? We'll do real bowl or fake bowl again, and then we'll do the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the Duke's Mayo Bowl?
Who's going to do the Duke's Mayo Bowl? Yeah, and we'll have the fan off too. I mean, they had like this Duke's Mayo type of classic as well. So, have 2 teams, they're having a Mayo chugging contest as well.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it really was the best part of that Clemson-Georgia game, So, really, it was the Mayo chugging contest.
Sure it was.
Yes. That's how bad the game was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta give Clemson credit. At this point in the season, they're the only ones I think who've kept Georgia within it.
They've really been probably the most formidable opponent was Clemson, and that was the first game of the season.
Right.
All right. Another thing I am very unthankful for. I'm very unthankful for this whole the series of with like Altitude and like the cable and dish companies. Really, I mean, it's just just kind of thinking about that. I mean, really, I mean, it's just you have these 2 really good teams. With the Avalanche, obviously Cup contenders now for the past 3 years, and then obviously you have the Nuggets. You have the reigning MVP, and yet most of Colorado can't watch the teams. Really, I mean, it's just and it's been going on now for 3 years now, and it's just really kind of like a shame. I mean, it's just talking with some people and some friends about this, and it's just like it's really turned them off on watching the Avs, on watching the Nuggets, and I'm kind of that same boat. It's really, I mean, it's just I'm kind of turned off not watching the Nuggets really because of that because they're not on.
Well, I mean, it's Stan Kroenke, man. Stan Kroenke, even when he moved the Rams to LA, proved that really he's all about the money.
Yeah, he
So
is.
even
He's
with
all
the
about the
broadcast
money.
rights and everything, it's all about the green for him. So
It is. It is all about the green for him. Yeah, and it's a shame because you're deriving people. You're basically these
you're
people.
depriving people of seeing the team that they care about.
Yeah, they care about, and
Because,
it's good teams too. I mean,
yeah, people.
if both teams suck, I think it would have been okay. Yeah, you don't want to watch that, but the fact that both
Yeah,
teams
like I
are,
wouldn't be disappointed if I wasn't watching the '90s Nuggets.
yeah, yeah. If it was the '90s Nuggets, I would have been really, really. I would have been like, who cares?
But like
But
after 3 years, you would think you'd see like the cable companies aren't going to budge on this. No one's paying whatever price you're asking for. Just give it up.
it's
And
basically
get
a blinking
somebody.
contest, really. I mean, who's going to blink first? And clearly, nobody's blinking at all.
Yep, definitely not.
Well, and it's causing. I think this whole situation too is causing teams or causing people to really kind of rethink about stuff as well. And then, like MLB is trying to be a little bit proactive with this in removing the blackouts and stuff, so people can watch it. I mean, that thing's not going to go away. I'm sorry, like streaming's not going to go. Streaming's not going to go away, folks.
No, it's
Like
not.
it is. It is like the wave of the future. So maybe
Right.
lift the blackout dates or something like that.
You would think, but
You would think, yeah.
yeah.
But
Here
here
we
we
are
are.
years later and still not really able to watch any of the teams we care about.
Yeah, it's going to be 2030 when they finally get a deal done. And yeah, when nobody has cable anymore.
Exactly. Cable companies are gone because everyone switched over to Hulu Live Sports. That's how Stan Kroenke's going to win this one.
Yeah, he's waiting for these cable and dish companies to just to lose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else are you unthankful for?
Let's see. I'm unthankful for the Broncos ownership situation because I feel like it's allowed some of this complacency in the coaching situation that we've complained about for a long time. Obviously, for those who don't know, the Broncos ownership has been tied up in courts for a long time since the death of owner Pat Bowlen, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. And I mean, it's a travesty because once again, under Bowlen, they were one of the most successful franchises in the league for the 30 plus years that he was running the team.
He
Perennial
was.
playoff contenders versus currently, like I said, if the Broncos go 500 this season or whatever direction of 500 they finish, miss the playoffs and still keep Fangio around, then they're letting mediocrity be the standard. And that has never been the standard with the Broncos since we've been alive.
Yeah, it really has not been the standard. Yeah, it's really been successful winning seasons. Really, I mean we've been used to success growing up as fans. I mean, yeah, once in a while we would get like a 4-12, 5-11, 6-10 type of season, but it was always one season. Next year they were always a 10, 11 win team. So yeah, I mean it is just very, very frustrating. I mean, it's just this ownership situation. Hopefully, it's probably going to be done next year. So that's the only hope as far as with that. So we'll have to wait and see with that. But yeah, it's just been just a bunch of complacency. Really, I mean, it's just and and it's just it's just been really just a shame now. Like it's just like they're just finding ways to lose and all that, and just really it's just like a case of just not having a good winning attitude and be like, oh, maybe we should win this, that type of thing.
Right. I said that's one thing I'm not thankful for. What do you got next?
I'm unthankful for. So we're basically in the year 2021. Okay, we have these amazing smart TVs and all that, and we have like Hulu Live and YouTube TV or stuff like that. Why don't these streaming services have like a picture-in-picture function? Really? Because I thought about this because when I went to Ohio, my buddy has Hulu. He has Hulu TV. So he has Hulu Live TV. So it was just one of those things. And we were kind of switching back and forth between the college football game between Alabama and Texas A&M and the and baseball. So baseball playoffs were going on at that time, and it was just like it was very, very frustrating. It's just like, why don't we have picture in a picture now anymore? I mean, we had it back in the day. Why have we kind of degressed with technology or something like that? I maybe want to watch two things at the same time or something like that.
I haven't thought of that in a while. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Yeah, and it's
Or
like
like
really,
if Hulu like if they're gonna offer live sports, like it wouldn't be that difficult for them to let you split the screen or something. You would think,
yeah. I don't think it would be that difficult or something like that. Or
or
maybe you
even
can watch maybe.
ESPN Plus or something. Like let me split screens and watch 4 things at once. And then if
Yeah,
it's something I really need to see, like let me have the power Chris Hansen has on like NFL Network.
you mean Scott Hansen?
Scott Hansen.
Yeah, give me an octo box, man.
Yeah, let me octobox or quad box or triple box, and then if I want to punch something up, like let me do that. That's what I want.
Yeah, just give me that, and then maybe
Let me
it's like a
be
case
Scott
too. If you
Hansen
get
every game.
maybe that, or maybe a case too. Where like a picture in picture. I used to have this with like this older TV where you can make the screen bigger for some or where you can make the screen bigger at one screen. So you're watching maybe the Broncos game or something like that, or you're watching like a college football game that you're really interested in, but then you have this other TV. As far as with that, you can make maybe the screen bigger. I mean, it's a case of just like, why don't we have picture in picture anymore? Like, it really is kind of like a shame. I feel like we've gone backwards as far as with TV technology and something like that. I mean, you kind of saw it with Back to the Future too. I mean,
Right.
the guy had 6 channels going on. Why don't we have that? We don't have that technology. Come on, we have the technology for that. Why don't we have it?
We have it because, like I said, Scott Hansen can octobox, so let me octobox.
Yeah, give me the 6 box or something like that, or the octo box or something like that.
Yeah, even I'll be
It's just
fine with a quad box. Quad box would be plenty.
yeah, just give me the quad box, and the TVs are big enough where you could get 4 really good screens going on.
You really
As far
could.
as
I mean, like I said, I think that would solve my problems on March Madness of like having to like set up 2 laptops with streams and then have like a third laptop with
yeah, have like an iPad or something
where
like
I'm
that.
like
Yeah,
I'm trying to pretend to work.
I know. I know. It's just it really is just like a shame. That's what I want. Yeah. I mean, you don't need it all the time, but it's just for these special moments. It's like,
Yeah,
it's the first part of the season or something like that. Oh, it's
I
the
would
first
need
part of
that
the,
every
it's the first part of
Saturday.
college football. Yeah.
Yeah, every college football Saturday. Or like you said with the overlap seasons or March Madness. Those are the like I said, I don't need it every day, but I would like to have it if I have
Yes. Give me it. Yes. Yeah. Especially,
it.
March Madness, that first weekend
Right.
of March Madness. Yeah.
Then I
That would
wouldn't
just
have
be
to have like
wonderful.
3 computers doing like the work of one when I could just have one quad box.
We need to bring that back. I think we found our $1 billion idea.
That's a great
That,
idea. I love it.
yeah. That's going to be our
I don't
billion
know who
dollar.
to talk to about it. Like maybe like the technicians at Hulu Plus or whatever will hire
Or
us.
maybe let's get Elon Musk on it or something like that.
Elon.
Elon, if you're if you're listening, maybe I have to tweet at Elon. We have an interesting idea for you.
Elon, we're gonna revolutionize the way people consume sports on TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's just how we not have that TV? Like they have it in Back to the Future too. Which was supposedly was going to happen with 2015, but somehow that didn't happen.
Like I
We have
said,
decreased.
if Hansen can quad box, we can quad box. It's out
Yeah,
there.
we can do it. We can do it. Come on, we have the technology. Come on, and the streaming services are really good now. Like I understand, like back in the day, okay, streaming services were kind of wonky or something like that, but the streaming services are really good now.
Oh,
Like you
and
can
they've been
watch.
around long enough to be doing a good job.
Yeah, give me that. Oh, frustrating.
Very frustrating. I give you that.
All right. Anything
I'm
else you're unthankful for?
I'm unthankful for the New England Patriots. I thought like they were gonna go down for a longer period of time. I was gonna get to enjoy like more than one season without the Patriots being good. Like I wanted to enjoy like the next 30 years without the Patriots being good, and now I got to deal with them probably back in the playoffs in just one season. It's upsetting. I was hoping, like I said, it was gonna be like Brady's gone. They're bad for like even 5 years. Like, give me like the down seat time that the Broncos have had now before New England.
It is very unfortunate. Yeah, and it's
I'm
just
not
like,
thankful.
yeah, I'm very unthankful for
These
that.
are
Yeah,
very
as well.
surface. This is a very surface level complaint, but like I said,
Yeah, it is just very, very, very unthankful for that. Yeah, because it's just, you know what, we kind of need like Boston teams to maybe kind of go away a little bit. You know, maybe have like this kind of this Cleveland-esque type of drought. You know, championship
right.
drought. You know, because it's just like they've won too many times, and it's just like really, I think people are really starting to turn on the city of Boston. I think so.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they had a long drought. Like then in like the beginning of the 2000s, the Red Sox got good and ended their drought, and then the Patriots went on this run, and
Yeah.
even the Bruins snuck a cup in, which that one I wasn't as mad
And the
at.
Celtics won the
Celtics got
Celtics won an
one.
NBA championship. Yeah.
And I wasn't even mad at that because I'm a Garnett guy, so I like them getting one. But yeah, it's like the city's just annoying.
Yeah, it
I want,
really
I
is.
want
It
them to go back to sucking so that they can actually like have people outside of Boston that are not just totally against this town.
You're making me sympathize for New York teams, really.
Right.
You're making me sympathize for New York teams.
I
That's
know.
how bad it is.
You're making me root for the Yankees.
Yes, I want to root for the Yankees. I want to root for the Knicks. I want to root for the Rangers. Give me that.
Can you believe the Yankees? Like no New York team has won a championship in the last decade. I saw that the other day. And I mean, aside from the Yankees, no one I don't think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because the Giants. Yeah,
Like yeah,
God, it's one of these things. Yeah, you don't think about it until you're like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
I
yeah,
saw
Yankees
that the other day.
and the closest team really has been,
Yankees.
I guess, the Met. No, the Met. Remember the Mets were in the World Series in 15,
Oh
and then
yeah,
the
I guess
Rangers
so.
were in the. Yeah, the Rangers were in the Cup in 14, but lost in 6 games to the Kings.
Yep.
Yeah, that's been about it. Yeah, that's just been as close for them. Yeah, you're making me sympathize with New York teams. Yeah,
I know.
that I know Boston. That's why you need to kind of go away.
Right. You need to stink for long enough that we can all get back on your side.
Yes, and make us hate like New York teams again.
Right. Because like I said, right now we just want, like I said, we're rooting for the New York team. We're rooting even for like the state of New York. Like I want to watch the Bills kick the Patriots, but like I don't. I'm sick. I'm sick of the Patriots, and I thought it was gonna be longer than 1 year of this. I'm not thankful for it.
I know. Yeah, now they're back, and everybody's quoting like, "Oh, this is 01 again." I'm like, "Oh, great." This is just great. Yeah, this is what we need.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, it's like people hate you guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah,
We
you can
hate
talk
you.
all you want. Yeah, people hate
In
the city of
01, we
Boston.
didn't all hate you. In 2021, we all hate you.
Yes,
Every one of us.
I know. Yeah, and like the Red Sox are all good too. Again, it's like, oh,
Hate them too.
I know. Yeah, they had a bad season. Granted, yes, it was only 60 games, but yeah, they were kind of back, and they want,
Yeah.
get approaching the ALCS, and it's just like, yeah. I agree.
Yep.
Ah,
You have anything else you're not thankful for?
no, pretty much covered. What I wanted to cover. Anything else?
Let's see. I mean, I'm not thankful for like the state of like the WWE right now. It stinks. The product stinks. Like they don't develop people well. I'm not thankful for the way they've been doing stuff lately on the wrestling. Like
Right.
Raw is basically unwatchable. It's the same people fighting each other week in, week out. And it's like I said, the product is definitely like at an all-time low for me.
It
Like
is
it's
definitely,
back to
yeah.
like 95 where you all like I would watch 95 and watch Aldo Montoya run around with a jockstrap on his face before I watch some of these ones today.
Yeah, it has been and stuff, and it's funny too because they were promoting Survivor Series. I'm like, wait, it's Survivor Series, and then you kind of think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Sunday before Thanksgiving, but it's just like, yeah, like
And it's still like I mean, like they didn't even do anything to build up any of the matches in Survivor Series. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Survivor Series, but that's because they didn't like build it up at all or make me intrigued by any match at Survivor Series.
right, yeah, and I've actually watched more AEW actually than WWE in the past
Yeah, I
year because
haven't done that yet. How's the AEW?
AEW is doing Like pretty decently. Like it's just I feel like they have a good product going and stuff, and I feel like they're really, this really is the first formidable opponent for WWE since the late '90s WCW. Really, I mean, it's a really good product. I've actually enjoyed watching it as well. I mean, it's just I feel like it's a lot of like, ooh, I remember, it's like they have Tony Schiavone, they have, Jim Ross or something like that. They have some of the older people, like Chris Jericho and Stain and all that, to kind of get us hyped or something like that. But I do like a lot of the younger, people and stuff. Really, I mean, the only thing they're not very good at is promoting their women's division, but they're still kind of working on it right now. But I feel like they're getting a little bit better as far as with that. But I do enjoy it's something you don't watch a while. They kind of give you like an update, it's like, oh, it's like this team, or it's like this tag team lost the tag team championships, a couple of weeks ago or something like that. So that's what I kind of like, they kind of bring you kind of forward and stuff instead of like having to watch a certain, you had to watch the previous one in order to figure out what happened.
Right. Like I mean, the thing about it is that, I mean, AEW when it first came out was kind of going opposite of WWE's like NXT, which is the
Mhm.
only like WWE program I still watch. But like now that they're separated, like I could maybe start checking out some AEW because, like I said, it sounds like it's a better product than what WWE's got right
It is definitely a better product right now. I mean, I would actually go to an AEW event more than a WWE event right now. Really, I mean,
now.
that's like a case. And I'm not like that big of a wrestling fan anymore. And it's just, but I would, I'm kind of the casual market. But AEW's winning as far as with me, they're winning me over.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's very interesting. I think it's gonna be one that we're gonna have to keep an eye on. But like I said, I'm not thankful for where WWE's at right now. Like I said, it really feels like the worst it's been in like 25, 30 years, 25 years.
Yeah, it definitely has been this definitely feels like 1995 level. And like
Yeah.
people are kind of seeing it too. Yeah. Like, yeah, this is, kind of 1995. And like, does Vince McMahon have it in him to pull it from the straps again, and
Yeah.
make the WWE look formidable again? Does he
Well,
have it? I mean, I felt like he had it 25 years ago. Does he have it now?
right. But he also had Stone Cold 25 years ago. And obviously the one of the most entertaining people of our generation in The Rock 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Unless there's another Rock somehow walking through his door, you might be in trouble.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel like they have like these good stars that or picking up like, maybe like an AEW scrap heap or something like that and suddenly turn into like a big star or something like that. Or, you know,
Yeah, like I said, it's an interesting time in wrestling fandom. Like I said, it's a dark period for WWE, and like I said, I think that even other programs are starting to catch up and surpass it.
Yeah, and it's good. Well, the problem is it's Raw's 3 hours. I mean, it needs to be 2 hours, really.
Right.
That's just like the case,
But it's like it's
really.
not even good for. They don't even have enough for like 2 hours. It feels like right now. They're like maybe like five interesting people on the whole show.
Yeah, and they keep, they release a lot of people too. So
Yeah.
they're definitely like cash strapped right now. So
Yeah.
so
Honestly, it
that's not a good
sucks
thing.
because like they could have released Brock Lesnar and kept all those people probably. Like I think Brock Lesnar makes like what 6 or 7 people make. So
But
they
no,
totally
they
could have
need they
cut
need a
Brock Lesnar and actually had some depth versus Brock Lesnar who appears like once a year.
or Goldberg or something like that.
Right, exactly. Him too. I'm a huge Goldberg guy, but like even now, like him
Yeah,
now,
even now, yeah, that's just like, I kind of need something new.
yeah.
It
I'm
was
like
fun 5 years
I love
ago.
Goldberg, but once again, like what you're paying him, you could keep more young people.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have all these young people and have them fight Goldberg, fine. But if they're gonna get fired for you to keep Goldberg and to keep Brock Lesnar around, then that's when it's not that good.
Yeah, it is just a sad state right now in wrestling, and yeah, and it's just it's not a very good product right now for the WWE.
It's not, and I'm not thankful for it.
We're all not thankful for it. All right, man.
All right. Well, I think that's the end of our show. We
Yep.
hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy that turkey. Eat up. Get those sweatpants on and watch this. Show us to your family on Thanksgiving. Make them thankful for us, and watch all of our other episodes as well. Follow us on Twitter at Bushy to find out what we watch this weekend, including probably Ole Miss, Mississippi State, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, we could be tweeting about Thanksgiving games as well.
Who knows? So follow along with us on social media, and once again, go back and watch all of our episodes. Thank you for watching this one, and have a great Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you. Peace.